so happy to be here. Good to see you. Good
Good to
evening,
see you. Good to
Rod.
be seen. Good to be seen.
Good to be seen.
All right, let's jump into it, right? It's time to cut them loose.
Who is them? What are you talking about?
Who is them and what is that, right? So, we are accountability partners, and we often talk about those things that kind of get in our way. And sometimes it's other people, and sometimes it's just us, right?
Yeah. I mean, if in full transparency, I think for me, more times than not, it's me.
Oh Lord, was that an earthquake? Because I felt the shift in the atmosphere.
Don't tell nobody but God.
Yeah, that's something.
That's growth for me. I'm just saying.
I'm going to say it is too. Yeah, that's growth.
We always say, if you don't say it, it ain't real.
And so you trying, Loki, you trying to pressure me to say something? Did I didn't cut loose? I think it's
not pressure you to say anything.
Yeah, you are. I mean, but I think it's important that we recognize what some of our true obstacles are. And sometimes it's ourselves, and sometimes it's habits. I was reading something the other night about having habits that are triggering. I mean, or events. When events happen, they trigger bad habits, and we end up messing up relationships, or or whatever thing. Yvonne says hello.
Hi, Yvonne.
Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Queen.
You say events trigger habits, so like a wine festival type of event? Is that what you mean?
No. So the example they gave was that you could be doing really well in any type of relationship, it could be professional, whatever, right? But because Gail says hello, hi Gail. Yeah. But when if something doesn't go your way, you have an overpowering reaction to something not going your way, right? That's something you need to get under control. That ain't got nothing to do with anybody else. That whatever that understanding what that trigger is, controlling your response, whether it's impatience, whether it's just that tension, right? We talk about people throwing tantrums who are grown, right? That thing that you need to kind of cut loose and get on top of, so you're not destroying further relationships. And ultimately, and again, it's not just about relationships per se, but it could be anything. Miss Evangeline says hello.
And Daniela.
Hi, Daniela.
Loving our YouTube audience. Hey, ladies.
Yes. And ladies, feel free to join in the conversation. What is it? When is it time to let something go? And have you had to let something go in order to go further?
Yeah.
And we're not necessarily talking about people. That could be people, something, or someone, but the challenges. So Tasha, you were very brave tonight, and you said sometimes you find that it's you who stands in your own way.
Yeah, it is. And this is something, listen, I'm continuing to learn about myself every day and grow.
Yeah.
And I appreciate, our morning therapy sessions and conversations that we have, because, part of accountability is you for me providing a different perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, have you thought about it this way? And we were having a conversation recently, and it just had me deep in thought about some of the things that are happening or have happened in my life, and the role that I play in that. And so, cutting some habits loose and loosening up a little bit sometimes.
Right. So Tasha and I won't go into the whole conversation. Tasha and I, we work out most mornings at about, now 7:30 in the morning. So if you ever want to know what's going on at 7:30 in the morning, Tasha and I are working out. But we had a conversation this morning, and you were like, I don't like jokes. And I was like, well, who don't like jokes? Don't say it to me. Don't say it to me joking. I'm like...
Listen, no, I'm just be honest. I mean, we have to be at a certain place,
yeah,
for the jokey jokes to happen, because yeah, I'm just not there. Don't joke with me. Like you
All
don't
right.
know.
So Sandra Clark says, "Hey." Gail says, "I let a job go and retired."
Yeah,
And Evangeline says, "When it begins to feel like a second job that you don't get paid for."
that's when it's time to let it go, right?
Ooh, that's when it's time to let it go.
That could be things or people, right?
Yes, Daniela, when it starts to set you apart from the person you really want to be.
See,
Ooh.
so this is how I'm learning myself. Part of the goals for me, and you and I talk about it, like who is it that you want to show up in the world as, right?
Yeah, who do you want to be?
And what does that really mean? And so for me, yeah, when there are some things that are not having me on that path to show up as the person that I want to be, that I am, yeah, it's time to let it go.
I think I used to have a very quick temper. Right, I could go there, and I would go, and my response would be to annihilate whoever I was talking to. I'm going to burn you down, undress you to the ground. And then I had to start apologizing because I jumped too fast.
Oh, no one wants to eat that.
And when you have to apologize and you can never get to what the person did in the first place because all the focus is what you did on in the second place. I got over that. I don't do that no more. Yeah. I am slow to like, you're going to get this going. Ooh. I'm going to take my time getting there because when I get there, I'm going to earn you're going to have earned everything I'm going to give to you.
Oh, Danny said she learned from Tasha. How sweet, darling. Glad I'm making ripples in this world.
That's what's up. I mean, but there are things that we've talked to our clients, right? And I think that's what accountability is being able to shine a light and be able to, well, have you looked at it this way? Yeah. We had a client who had some very aggressive goals, things that she was trying to do in a very short amount of time. And homegirl was not trying to give up her social life. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? And we had to sit there and say, but honey, all this social hopping and popping that you want to do ain't really going to work if this is what you want to do. And it's only for a short period of time. And you remember, I still remember, she sat there like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that.
She had to cut those things loose because she wanted to go to a higher next level. And I think that she has cut some things loose. Maybe not everything that she's needed to, but she's cut some things loose, right, in order to help reach that goal.
Yeah.
He says, ouch, I love that. But the thing with apologizing is getting forgiveness and the goal. The goal of forgiveness is that we change. Mm-hmm. So Gail said, well, did you change, Danny? Oh, or is it you, Sharon? Did you?
Well, I said I changed because I'm tired of apologizing. So I if it's a choice of changing the conversation to what I did in the second place as opposed to what you did in the first, well then listen, I'll just shut up. I ain't got to do it. Because that was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to say to Danny, as far as getting forgiveness, forgiveness, the person doesn't always give forgiveness, right? Like, so for me, that was certainly something that I had to let go of, just wanting to go in for the kill. I think I come from a family of women who know how to do that very well.
What, the kill?
Going for the kill, go and get you right, get you quick.
I don't know the women in your family all that well, but I've heard plenty of stories. And so,
man, don't go up against them.
The strong waxer girls, I can imagine.
Don't go up against them, not at all.
Gail said, "Oh, the client, did she change?" She did, right? Like maybe I think growth is important, right? And so we have to recognize every little bit, even the 1% counts. She did change, and I do believe that she is going to reach her goal.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. She's working very hard on it. I mean, and we've had another client who she was very, she had a very clear mind and a clear vision on what she wanted to do for her parents. And she had a plan in place that she was working. And she had to let that plan go.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Because everything...
Even before that, to get to the plan, there were some emotional things, right?
Yeah.
With the family that she had to let go in order to move higher, to be able to do what she wanted to do for her parents.
Yeah. So I'm gonna ask some of the ladies who are watching, what are some of the things that you had to let go? Gail said she lost a job. Sandra, did you lose?
She let go of a job. She didn't lose her job.
Oh, well, absolutely. Let the record
Let it
show. Let go of the job and she retired, because I'm sure them Twitter fingers is going for me right now. Yvonne, is there anything that you let go? Evangeline, what about you? Is there anything that you let go of? Because I think that's the only way. Let's just be honest. Sometimes we talked about this. You and I had a great conversation about this week. Erykah Badu had a song called Bag Lady, and it was about the bags that you were carrying, all that baggage, right? And sometimes that unresolved mess, whether it be from a job that you had in the past, whether it be a relationship, if it's not you carrying that forward, only hinders you. You don't really get any further carrying that bag.
I mean, I can think of plenty of things that I've been forced to let go, right? Sometimes it's not a conscious decision that I've made to let it go, but I was forced to let it go. Or listen, it left me, and even though I was trying to hold on to it,
oh yeah,
I had to let go.
Well, sometimes God will do that, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes God will take something because you won't let it go on your own. And God has a greater plan for you. And sometimes he removes things from you, despite the fact you the fool trying to hold on to something that ain't no good for you.
Yeah.
Right. God says, I got something better. If you just take your hands off of it.
Right. You got your hands balled up like this, holding on to it. You can receive the blessing that he has for you. And so.
Right. So Gail says, I changed several jobs while working to get further. Evangelist says, I let go of people I tried to hold on to because I thought they were my friends. Ooh. The friend group is incredibly important when you talk about how and when you want to be successful, right? In anything.
Yeah.
Right? I'm a person who prefers and loves to be positive. I am allergic to negative energy. It's uncomfortable for me to be around people who are negative all the time. Imagine if you're in a friend group and everyone's running, no, you can't do that. No, that ain't gonna work. You always trying to do something, and they want you to remain basic.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta let them people go. It's uncomfortable, but you gotta let them people go.
What you doing now?
Yeah.
Oh, now what you doing now? You always doing something.
Yeah.
I am always doing something, right?
Yeah.
What was it that you said you were doing again? Oh,
yeah.
Nothing? Oh, okay.
Nothing. Oh, you still?
Yeah.
You always on the go.
On that. Sandra says it took me a minute to realize someone who I thought was a friend I had to let go. Yeah.
Yvonne said I had to let a man go because he was weighing me down.
Ooh,
that's like letting down a whole person. Ain't nothing like letting down and letting go all that weight of a whole person weighing you down.
I mean, listen, have you ever remember that show Biggest Loser? When they would lose the weight, they would put these body weights on them, and how heavy that was, after you've lost the weight to carry it around. It was like a mental thing. Like, I don't want to carry this weight with me anymore. It's like that. Yeah.
But to your point about the Biggest Loser, they didn't have real healthy habits that were sustainable, which is why there's not been a Biggest Loser reunion.
Oh, I was just using the one part about.
I know, but take it further. Listen, get into it. Like, follow me. Take me where I'm going. Okay, go with me. But they didn't. They got to hold on to it. They got to do something healthy for themselves. What they did was short term, quick fixes. You really want to continue to stay successful. You got to shed it for good. You got to say, hey, This just doesn't work for me. I had friends in my life, this is many years ago now, who were just always filled with drama. And I'm like, I don't do drama like this. I don't want drama like this. You know, best friends since the 8th grade. We've never had a crossword. Never had a crossword. These things are possible. So when I'm friends with you, right, and there's always some mess. Oh, no, you got to go. You got to go. And go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, I think from an accountability perspective, it's awesome to be able to have that second set of eyes, I would say, right? And a second memory to help us realize that there are some things that we have to let go and point them out to us, because I think left to our own devices, we stay in these friendships too long, right? We hold on to this man for too long, right? We stay in a job for too long. Hey, Nashon, with the heart.
You see the heart.
I see the heart. Yeah. So, you know, for me, I think accountability helps. It helps even with my own introspection, right? You and I don't talk about everything, but we actually do talk about everything. But I mean like the full conversation. I still have conversations with myself, right? But our conversations spark those thoughts in me and help me continue to grow and push me to a point where I can, you know, tonight say that sometimes I'm the problem.
Yeah. And I'm going to say there's been ongoing conversations I've been having with a very good friend that's really had me looking at about a lot of things that I've done or how I do and how I move. Like, does that still work for me? Right. Yeah. And that's when it's time. Does this still work for me? That's the question to be asking yourself. Does this still work for you? Where is it that you're trying to go? Who is it that you want to be? What is it that you want to enjoy in life? And what are you doing to get there? And what's stopping you? Ultimately, what's stopping you? And honey, if it's in your life, you got to let it go.
Yes.
It's got to be, what you want's got to be worth more than what you're dealing with.
I agree. Sandra also agrees. I had a friend who always had drama. She would leave me depressed. I had to let her go. I could not fix her. That's that other conversation. Is it easier to change me or fix you? Right?
Yeah. I always go back to
my change directions. I'm gonna go the opposite direction of this so-called friendship.
I always go back to, and you know, I said what my pastor said years ago. When two people come together, people often believe that a whole person can fill up someone who is not whole. They can, you know, infuse them and push them with energy. But the reality is, it's the person who is not whole who will drain the person who is whole. So only two whole people can come together. Ooh, but yes, those draining relationships. Ooh, yes, I got one now. Remember I told you as a girlfriend, love her, way too negative. I don't know what's going on over there. God bless her. But I'm like, remember I told her I can only talk to her every 6 months. I can't do it. I can't do it. And she's not going to have a positive thing to say about the accountability queen. She's not.
Oh gosh, who could not have something positive to say about
this? That's what I'm saying. This is why she's
my pearls over here.
This is why. Well, she just won't even ask about it. She won't talk about it, which is all fine with me because we don't need the energy. It's all good with me. I don't even bring it up. It's all good with me.
Time to cut her loose.
Every 6 months, honey. Every 6 months.
Well, listen. I think it's a good conversation, right?
I think it was a great conversation. I want to thank everyone who joined. I got divorced. Fix it. Yeah.
Okay, Gail. Fix it.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Sometimes you got to do that.
Well, Tasha, it has been a pleasure talking to you as always, as I always do.
Thanks for joining us tonight, ladies, and participating in the conversation.
Yes, we love it. And if you want to learn more about us, make sure you go to www.accountabilityqueens.com. You can email us at info@accountabilityqueens.com. If you're on YouTube, you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram, Accountability Queens. We'd love to hear more about what you all are thinking. All right.
Thanks for joining. Have a good night.
Bye, Tasha.
Bye.